again. I'm Dee Pileggi, and this is my laughing friend, Paul Nixon. And welcome back to Say It Loud.
I was just thinking about Anchorman when he was about to start recording. He's like, unique New York.
I bet it works though. I'm gonna try it.
It probably does. All right, so on to serious matters now. Serious.
This is serious.
Brett Kavanaugh
That's
was confirmed for
so
the
serious.
United States Supreme Court this week.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your position? I mean, it's done now, and then you knew about it, but
Like, I was in the middle of worship, like a church, a worshipful. It was on Saturday that they confirmed him, or that he got the vote. And I have never been zapped out of my mindset so quickly than when that thing popped up on my phone. Like, it's not like I didn't expect it. I did. You know, I just feel like America has, especially women in America, have been re-traumatized all over again. And it's just a sad thing, you know, to watch us go through all of this trauma to the point where it's just becoming normal. You know, I think that's what hurt me. That was my initial reaction. What was yours?
Did you? Well, I'm not surprised. You know, I've said this in other places before. We elected Donald Trump with our eyes wide open. You know what I mean? So like he didn't pretend to be anything but what he was on the campaign trail, and he didn't lie to us. He showed us who he was, and we put him in office.
Exactly.
So at this point, it doesn't surprise me when something like this happens, because you know we've shown him that we support him as a country. We show him that we're in favor of what he's doing by voting for him. So I'm not surprised. It is disappointing, but I'm not surprised. Did you see any of the actual confirmation ceremony?
I did not watch the confirmation ceremony. I really wasn't interested in seeing him be appointed. I did see when he went to the White House after his official confirmation, they do like a confirmation ceremony in the White House. It's not the actual confirmation, which took place privately. But, you know, Donald Trump basically got a chance to take, you know, credit for everything, you know, to say that, you know, look at this person that I've set up in the Supreme Court, and he apologized to Brett Kavanaugh in front of the entire,
like, on behalf of the country,
on behalf of all of us, for what his family had gone through, and made no mention of Dr. Blasey Ford, you know, which I thought was one of the most distasteful things. It's definitely made it to the top 3 most distasteful things that Trump has done. And that's pretty hard.
That's a hard list to crack at this point. Yeah. So I lost my train of thought.
It's okay. Trains often
get derailed.
Yeah.
And just come back around. Once again.
Well, I guess I have a question.
There you go.
During the actual trial, I don't even know what to call that. His interrogation, the interview process after Dr. Blasey Ford testified, he came to testify. And there's been outrage amongst everybody about the way that he carried himself during that portion of his interview.
Right.
You know, he came out and he was crying, and you know, he got all kind of memes made about him, like he was just crazy during this interview. One of the issues that's been raised is that he was exercising his white privilege. He's a white male, so he can show anger, he can be belligerent, he can cry, he can seem kind of emotionally unstable, and it's all justified. Did you see that?
That's interesting. I didn't watch any of it.
Okay.
So,
why?
Well, you know, I have a really high level of respect for myself.
Oh, okay.
And
gotcha.
My time is valuable to me, if to no one else.
Yeah.
So I would much rather watch old episodes of Seinfeld or Martin or something.
Or like somebody chew their own arm
or
off.
I'd watch somebody chew their own arm off.
Then watch
that nonsense.
Was...
But like the apology thing though is it's kind of nonsense to me. The idea is, okay, so he was accused of something. It was determined that accusation had enough merit to pursue it and determine if it was true, and then they went through the appropriate process to find out if it was true or not. I don't see where the apology needs to come in. You know what I mean? Even like whether he did it or not. Let's say he's innocent. Let's just say. Let's say he did not do it. Why is there an apology necessary? Because we went through the process of determining that this accusation was not true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The apology is like,
The apology, I think, was just the audacity of a woman to come forward and accuse somebody with no actual physical proof. But she had no way of bringing proof since it was 36 years ago that this incident occurred. It's just almost as if to tell people or discourage people through his apology from ever making any kind of accusations of that kind, because it's just so outrageous. It's almost it's akin, in my opinion, to when we call out racism as black people. If we say that something is racist or that someone is a racist, people seem to be more distracted and concerned about the label of a white person being racist than they are about me actually being affected by racism.
Yeah.
You know, the label is more influential, you know, more important to them than my actually suffering from racism.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the re-traumatization that I felt I experienced, and I'm sure a lot of other people experienced that too.
Yeah, it was something to me that kind of underscores how wide, how deep the divide is between the two sides at this point. And it's really, it's so wide at this point, it seems like it's even difficult to have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Because our points of view on the issue are so different.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. A few weeks ago, I was in a bar. So what happened was I ordered food to go at a restaurant, and I had to go pick it up at the restaurant. While I was waiting for the food, I was sitting at the bar, and I had a drink of water.
Because Advent.
All right. So I was in a bar, and there was a guy at the bar, and he was drinking, and he was, a little tipsy probably. And we were just kind of chit-chatting for a minute there. And then he said to me, kind of out of nowhere, he said, "Say what you want about Trump, but," and then he said these words, this guy said everything is better, right? And you were just saying that some things are better, like
unemployment rates.
Right.
And,
But to say that everything is better it's a very one-sided way of looking at things. Race relations are as bad as they've been in my whole life. Yeah. I can't speak on the 60s, I wasn't around then, but my whole life they've never been this bad. It's never been this contentious between black people and white people.
Agreed.
Huge companies are having problems. Ford is laying off like 20,000 people. We got this prediction that the Earth is going to end in 20 years or something like that because of
global warming.
Yeah, we're destroying the Earth.
Yeah.
You know, the journalist from the Washington Post was killed in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
you heard about that?
That was
Killed him and dismembered him, and Trump had nothing to say about it.
Yeah.
So the idea that someone's perspective is that everything is better. That's the opposite of kind of our side. Our side of the issue is people matter. Essentially, right? Let's have conversations, let's talk, let's treat people like human beings. And the other side of the issue is everything's better for me, so that everything is better. You know, and which makes it really hard to even have a conversation. I was looking at the I can't find it now. I was looking at the comments on the Kavanaugh ceremony that we were talking about.
The White House with Trump.
I couldn't read it. I mean, I couldn't watch it. I watched 40 seconds of it.
Crazy.
But one of the comments here, and I know these are comments on the internet. These don't represent the group, but I mean this is just an example of what I'm talking about. One of the comments is this: after watching this, 4 Democrats in my apartment building in Manhattan, just flung themselves off the roof. At 40 stories, they sure made a mess on the ground. I am urging the co-op board to sue their estates for cleanup costs. #winning.
Good Lord.
Just illustrating my point. But so we want equality. We want better conditions. They want us dead. I mean, you can't have a conversation when it's that separate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's one of the things that really kind of stands out about the whole Kavanaugh thing. It just kind of illustrates to me how wide the divide actually is.
Yeah, everything is partisan, and you know this kind of reminds me, and I think it's something that we should never lose sight of. Before Bacon's Rebellion in the 1600s. A black person had every legal right that a white European or white British person had. A black man could do the same things that any white man could do. We can't even conceptualize that because everything started to change when the white elite saw that the poor whites and the black poor were getting together, and the labor union that was formed there could overthrow their power. So they re-strategized and created this concept of whiteness. And it came with all of these privileges. And that power structure has been maintained. Even here in 2018, we can't forget that structure is at the root of what it means to be an American. So we have to keep proclaiming the truth. and keep speaking truth to power.
Amen.
And we'll do it on this show.
There it is.
You've been watching. Say it loud.